Famous novel in 1321, The Divine Comedy. History. Author Dante Alighieri. According to the Italian Dante Society, no original manuscript written by Dante has survived, although there are many manuscript copies from the 14th and 15th centuries. Some 800 are listed on their site. The first translation of the comedy into another vernacular was the prose translation into Castilian completed by Enrique de Villena in 1428. The first vernacular verse translation was that of Andrew February into Catalan in 1429. The poem discusses the state of the soul after death and presents an image of divine justice meted out as due punishment or reward, and describes Dante's travels through hell, purgatory, and heaven. Allegorically, the poem represents the soul's journey towards God, beginning with the recognition and rejection of sin in Inferno, followed by the penitent Christian life Purgatorio, which is then followed by the soul's ascent to God Paradiso. Dante draws on medieval Catholic theology and philosophy, especially Thomistic philosophy derived from the Summa Theologica of Thomas Aquinas. The Divine Comedy is composed of 14,233 lines that are divided into three: Cantish singular cantica, Inferno hell, Purgatorio purgatory, and Paradiso paradise, each consisting of 33 cantos, Italian plural canti, an initial canto, serving as an introduction to the poem, and generally considered to be part of the first cantica, brings the total number of cantos to 100. It is generally accepted, however, that the first cantos serve as a unitary prologue to the entire epic, and that the opening two cantos of each cantica serve as prologues to each of the three cantish, written in the first person. The poem tells of Dante's journey through the three realms of the dead, lasting from the night before Good Friday to the Wednesday after Easter in the spring of 1300. The Roman poet Virgil guides him through hell and purgatory. Beatrice, Dante's ideal woman, guides him through heaven. Beatrice was a Florentine woman he had met in childhood and admired from afar in the mode of the then fashionable courtly love tradition, which is highlighted in Dante's earlier work, La Vita Nuova. The Cistercian abbot Bernard of Clairvaux guides Dante through the last three cantos. The last word in each of the three cantish is telestars. The Inferno represents the Christian soul seeing sin for what it really is, and the three beasts represent three types of sin: the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious. These three types of sin also provide the three main divisions of Dante's hell, upper hell, outside the city of Dis, for the four sins of indulgence: lust, gluttony, avarice, anger. Circle 7 for the sins of violence against one's neighbor, against oneself, and against God, art, and nature. And circles 8 and 9 for the sins of fraud and treachery. Added to these are two dissimilar spiritual categories. Limbo, in circle 1, contains the virtuous pagans who were not sinful, but were ignorant of Christ, and circle 6 contains the heretics who contradicted the doctrine and confused the Spirit of Christ. Love, a theme throughout the Divine Comedy, is particularly important for the framing of sin on the mountain of purgatory. While the love that flows from God is pure, it can become sinful as it flows through humanity. Humans can sin by using love towards improper or malicious ends, wrath, envy, pride, or using it to proper ends, but with love that is either not strong enough, sloth, or love that is to strong lust, gluttony, greed. Below the 7 purges of the soul is the anti-purgatory, containing the excommunicated from the church and the late repentant who died, often violently, before receiving rites. Thus the total comes to 9, with the addition of the Garden of Eden at the summit, equaling 10. The Purgatorio demonstrates the medieval knowledge of a spherical earth. During the poem, Dante discusses the different stars visible in the southern hemisphere, the altered position of the sun, and the various time zones of the earth. At this stage it is, Dante says, sunset at Jerusalem, midnight on the river Ganges, and sunrise in purgatory. Dante meets and converses with several great saints of the Church, including Thomas Aquinas, Bonaventure, St. Peter, and St. John. Near the end, Beatrice departs and Bernard of Clairvaux takes over as a guide. The Paradiso is more theological in nature than the Inferno and the Purgatorio. However, Dante admits that the vision of heaven he receives is merely the one his human eyes permit him to see, and thus Dante's personal vision. The Divine Comedy finishes with Dante seeing the triune God in a flash of understanding that he cannot express. Dante finally understands the mystery of Christ's divinity and humanity, and his soul becomes aligned with God's love. The Divine Comedy has been a source of inspiration for countless artists for almost 7 centuries. There are many references to Dante's work in literature and music. Franz Liszt was one of many composers to write works based on the Divine Comedy. In contemporary music, Hozier's 2023 album Unreal on Earth also draws inspiration from Dante's epic. In sculpture, the work of Auguste Rodin includes themes from Dante. Sculptor Timothy Schmalz created a series of 100 sculptures, one for each canto, on the 700th anniversary of the date of Dante's death, and many visual artists have illustrated Dante's work, as shown by the examples above. There have also been many references to the Divine Comedy in cinema, television, comics, and video games. Thank you.